Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're tackling AI, specifically its disruptive
Oh,
potential.
yeah, there's a ton of hype around it right now. Easy to get lost.
Exactly. We're going to try to cut through all that and give you a framework for understanding how AI is changing things.
Right. And to help us with that, we're going to be taking a close look at ARK Invent's report, Is AI Truly Disruptive?
Great report. So, what makes a technology truly disruptive?
Well, this report dives right into that. It lays out a framework for identifying disruptive tech.
And is AI truly fitting that bill? That's what we're going to find out, right?
Absolutely. And the report doesn't just stop at defining disruption, it goes deep into how cost declines are a major factor. Also looks at how AI is applicable across sectors.
And probably most importantly, how it serves as a platform for further innovation.
Exactly. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, in a way.
So let's unpack that framework a bit.
Right.
What's ARK Invest's take on what makes a technology disruptive?
They argue that one of the hallmarks of disruptive tech is super steep cost declines,
Steep meaning.
happening way faster than incumbents expect, and oftentimes faster than they can even keep up with.
Because they're so focused on short-term profits.
Often, yeah, they're comfortable with the existing pace of things.
Makes sense. So they're like, we're making money, why rock the boat?
Yeah,
And then bam, AI comes along and changes the whole game.
pretty much. Then you have the second characteristic, cross-sector applicability. Disruptive tech often ends up improving metrics that incumbents aren't even thinking about, at least not initially.
It's like they're blindsided by improvements in areas they didn't even consider important.
Right. And by the time they realize it, it might be too late to catch up.
So it's not just about being new and flashy. It's about fundamentally changing the way things work across multiple sectors. What's the third characteristic?
That disruptive technologies act as platforms for innovation. They spawn whole new ecosystems.
Okay, so you have this initial breakthrough, and then it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah. Think of it as a breeding ground for startups and developers building upon the initial disruption. Often start small, then boom, explosion of growth.
And all those companies caught flat-footed are left scrambling to adapt. So does AI check all those boxes?
The report makes a pretty compelling argument that it does,
This-
starting with cost declines.
Yeah, they mention AI costs are halving every 4 months. That's just mind-blowing.
Right. Think about Moore's Law. Semiconductor costs halving every 18 to 24 months.
Yeah, that was considered groundbreaking. But AI is moving, what, 4 to 6 times faster?
That's what the report suggests. Imagine 10 years of traditional tech progress jammed into less than 2 years. That's the reality of AI.
So that fast follower strategy that a lot of companies rely on might not work this time around.
Probably not. Even a small delay could put you way behind. And the report highlights this by looking at Google and Apple.
Two of the biggest names in tech. What's their AI story?
Well, it seems both of them were a bit hesitant to fully embrace AI.
Maybe because AI is inherently unpredictable,
Hmm.
and their brands are all about, well, being predictable.
Could be. The report speculates that maybe incidents like that New York Times piece about the Microsoft chatbot, the one that tried to break up a marriage, made them cautious.
Oh, yeah, that one. Or that situation where Google's AI generated images of multiracial Nazi troops. I mean, talk about a PR nightmare.
Exactly. Google and Apple live and die by their image. Unpredictable AI could be disastrous for them.
So what are they doing? Ignoring it entirely isn't really an option.
Right. It seems like they're taking the slow and steady approach.
Interesting. But is slow and steady enough in a world where AI is changing so fast?
That's the big question, and that's what we'll explore further in our next deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the report kind of illustrates this by comparing Apple's new Apple Intelligence to Mid-Journey.
Those Mid-Journey images are pretty amazing. I mean, what's Apple offering that could even come close?
Well, from what we've heard so far, it seems pretty limited. Like, users will be able to pick from a preset bunch of styles for, like, their AI-generated avatars.
Oh, okay.
Like, think of those filters they've had in Photoshop forever, since, like, 94.
Oh, okay.
So they're taking this cutting-edge tech and basically making it a fancy Instagram filter.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And the report makes a good point. Like, Apple might be all about control and safety, but they could fall behind on the whole creative side of AI. The flexibility.
Makes you wonder if the best AI stuff is going to happen outside those walled gardens.
Yeah. Good question. And that actually ties into the next big point the report makes, cross-sector disruption.
Right, because this isn't just about tech giants duking it out.
Right.
AI is touching like every industry now.
Absolutely. It's not just a tech thing anymore.
The report even mentions that like a ton more companies are talking about AI in their earnings calls.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's becoming part of how businesses operate no matter what industry they're in.
Okay, so this might be a dumb question, but you'd think Google, with all its search data, would be like way ahead in this AI race,
It
right?
seems logical, right?
Yeah.
But the report actually pushes back on that.
Oh, really? How so?
They say that search data, while there's tons of it, isn't necessarily the best for training AI models.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because siege queries tend to be short, repetitive, not really that deep.
Oh, I see. So Google's data crown isn't as valuable as we thought.
Not in this case.
Yeah.
And there's another wrinkle. Think about how Google makes money.
Right. For searches.
Ads. Yeah.
Exactly. So what if AI starts giving people all the answers right away?
They wouldn't need to click on a bunch of links.
Right. It could disrupt their whole business model.
Whoa! Talk about a catch-22. So who does the report say are the real data giants then?
They point to Meta and X,
X as in formerly Twitter.
the one only.
Okay.
Because think about all those social interactions, the conversations, the opinions, the sharing.
It's a goldmine for AI, right?
Huh.
Huge amounts of language data. And the report even talks about a future where, like, an AI chatbot within X could answer your questions directly.
Well, no more Google.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And think about online shopping. AI giving you personalized recommendations right there within the social media platform.
It's like the ultimate targeted ad almost.
In a way, yeah. But what about industries that don't have as much data flying around? You know, like healthcare or finance.
Right. Good point.
Well, the report says that specialized AI applications could actually be even more powerful than general search engines in those sectors
Oh, interesting.
because they're tailored to specific needs and often have access to more restricted data.
So it's not just one giant AI to rule them all. It's more like a bunch of specialized AIs, each one really good at its own thing.
That's the idea.
Yep.
Like, in healthcare, there are already AI models passing medical licensing exams, giving personalized health advice.
Yeah, like that Olivia model from Tempest Health. Like
Yeah.
having a brilliant doctor on call 24/7.
Exactly. And then you have finance. Think AI-powered financial agents right in your digital wallet,
Managing your investments, giving you insights.
all in real time. And then the report gets really wild and starts talking about Tesla and robots.
Wait, robots? Like the kind that are going to take our jobs?
Not necessarily, at least not in the way we think. The report is more focused on how crucial real-world experience is for AI.
Okay, so like a child learning by interacting with their environment, not just from books.
Precisely. AI needs to go beyond data sets to really understand the physical world, and that's where Tesla comes in.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So their fleet of cars, right, with all those cameras and sensors,
Yep.
they're collecting massive amounts of real-world data through their autopilot systems.
That's going to be a ton of data.
Way more than even YouTube or Instagram, the report says, and definitely more than the biggest language models.
Wow. But what are they doing with all that data?
This is where it gets mind-blowing. Tesla wants to use this data to create humanoid robots.
Humanoid, like
Yeah.
walking, talking robots.
That's the plan.
No way.
Think about it. Instead of grabbing your phone to look something up, you just ask your robot.
Who can interact with both the digital world and the physical world?
Exactly. It's a total paradigm shift in how we use technology.
If they can actually pull this off, it's game over for everyone else.
And it has that potential.
Wow, this is heavy stuff. We've gone from Google's data woes to Tesla's robot revolution.
Mm-hmm.
What's the final piece of this AI puzzle?
Well, the report wraps up by talking about AI not just as like disruptive on its own, but as a launchpad for a whole bunch of other innovations.
Yeah, they mentioned a scoring system that ranks tech based on their potential to disrupt, and AI came out on top.
Right. And it's not just theoretical either. Like, look at the amount of money being pumped into AI startups.
A third of all global venture funding went to AI this year. That's wild.
$90 billion.
Right.
Crazy, right? Investors are clearly betting big on AI to shake things up.
So we've got these rapid cost declines, AI working its way into every industry, and a ton of investment fueling innovation. Sounds like the big players are in for a rough ride.
That's what the report suggests, yeah. They talk about companies like OpenAI and Perplexity going head-to-head with Google in search. And then you've got companies like Rabbit, Friend, and Humane trying to break the Apple Android stranglehold on operating systems.
So it's like David versus Goliath, but with like a whole bunch of Davids armed with AI.
Pretty much. But here's a thought. Couldn't companies like Google and Apple just adapt. I mean, they've got the resources, the users.
Yeah, why not just absorb AI into what they already have?
The report argues that it's not that simple because these companies are wired to keep things controlled, to protect their profits.
But trying to incorporate AI into their existing models is like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Yeah, kind of. They can force it, but it might backfire. And even if Google, for example, manages to turn search into AI-powered answers, will their answers be any good?
Compared to competitors who are all in on AI, right?
Exactly. If they try to hold AI back, they might end up with a watered-down version. Less capable.
Less useful to users.
Right. And the report leaves us with a big question. Even if these tech giants try to slow AI down, can they actually stop it?
It does feel like the AI genie is out of the bottle,
Mm.
and we've got to figure out how to live with it.
This deep dive has been amazing, really. It feels like we're on the verge of something huge.
Yeah, the future of AI is something we all have a hand in shaping. It's not set in stone.
Absolutely. This report gave us a lot to consider. AI is powerful, no doubt. It can change industries, create opportunities, reshape how we work and live.
And it's up to all of us to stay informed, to be part of the conversation.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Great chat, as always. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.